if you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds.
This is one of those Caitlin Clark quotes that sounds even more brutal when you read it back now, because this did not come from some anonymous critic on social media. It came from Geno Auriemma, one of the most successful coaches in the history of women's basketball.
Somebody come get that granddaddy. Somebody come get that grandpa, man. Geno once again out here spewing nonsense, pure rhetoric all over the internet once again about Caitlin Clark, talking about Paige Beckers supposed to be this prominent player. We knew Paige before Caitlin. Then he doubled down calling the fans delusional. Man, this guy's ridiculous, man.
And when Caitlin Clark was getting hammered, bumped, pushed, and tested, Geno did not exactly rush to defend her. Instead, he dropped a line that immediately poured gasoline on the entire Caitlin Clark debate. He said, "Clark talks a lot of shit, and she gets a lot of shit back." And then came the part people could not believe. Geno said she deserves everything she gets, and she's just not built for the physicality of this league.
I think she talks a lot of and she gets a lot of back. So she deserves everything she gets because she gives it as good as she gets it. She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
But somehow that was not even the most controversial part, because Auriemma also questioned whether Caitlin Clark was physically built to survive in the WNBA. And looking back at everything that happened after those comments, that statement now feels almost impossible to believe. This all happened during Clark's chaotic introduction to professional basketball. Indiana was losing. Clark was turning the ball over. Defenders were picking her up aggressively. Teams were making sure she felt every screen, every drive, and every trip through the paint. And almost immediately, one argument began dominating women's basketball.
Now that the eyes are there, we don't necessarily need her anymore.
I just can't get over how blatantly disrespectful that is to say. Like, hey, you got us over the necessary threshold, now you can go now. You did exactly what you came here to do, you can go now. Could you imagine saying that to any other superstar who came into a league and transformed it the way that she did? Could you imagine saying that to Michael Jordan? Like, hey, Michael Jordan, like, thank you so much for changing the landscape of this league, but you know what? It's too much of a circus regarding you. And so, like, you can go now. Like, we do understand there's better players now. It's blatantly disrespectful to her. It's also blatantly disrespectful to the entire league, because in that statement in itself, you admitted that you have never watched. You've never watched before her. You've never watched before her, but now that she got you to watch, now she can go. You're the reason we're on private jets, but you can go. You're the reason that this CBA has been so transformational. You're the reason that your team has all 44 of their games on national television, but you can go. Like, you did your job, you can go. I'm really, you guys, like, come on.
Was Caitlin Clark simply experiencing normal WNBA physicality? Or were opponents deliberately trying to send the biggest rookie in basketball a message? Then came the Kennedy Carter incident. Clark was knocked to the floor away from the basketball, creating a national conversation about exactly how she was being defended.
Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench, and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
Even Auriemma acknowledged that there was a target on Clark's back, but his explanation for what was happening became far more controversial. He argued that Clark was not some innocent player quietly walking around while everyone attacked her. His point was basically this: Caitlin talks a lot, and opponents are going to answer. Auriemma said Clark talks a lot of shit and gets a lot of shit back.
But human nature is, okay, this kid's coming into the league. And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. You know, Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement. Targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really smart. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect.
Now, anyone who has followed Caitlin Clark closely knows there is some truth to one part of that. Clark is competitive, extremely competitive. She celebrates, she talks, she complains to officials. She lets defenders know when she hits a massive shot. That edge has always been part of her game. But Geno took the argument another step. He said Clark deserved what she was getting because she gave it back herself. And that is where the reaction becomes completely different. Because there is a huge difference between trash talk and questioning whether dangerous or excessive physical contact should simply be accepted because someone talks trash.
How do you think Clark is handling this?
I think she's handling great. I think she talks a lot of and she gets a lot of back. So she deserves everything she gets because she gives it as good as she gets it. She's just not built for the physicality of this league.
Yeah,
and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality. So there's a lot of learning curve, like Diana said. And when she gets it, she has elite skills that are going to really help her.
Yeah,
but she needs to be on a better team, and she needs to be more experienced. And that will come. But for these ridiculous fans who had her.
Then Geno dropped another prediction that would follow him for the rest of Clark's rookie season. He said she was not built for the physicality of this league. Think about that statement. Not ready yet, not inexperienced, not needing more strength, not built for it. At the time, Clark had just entered the league carrying expectations unlike almost any rookie women's basketball had ever seen. Millions of people were suddenly watching, arenas were filling, television ratings were exploding, every mistake became national news. And Geno believed some of Clark's supporters had completely lost perspective. He even described parts of her fan base as delusional for expecting her to immediately tear through established WNBA competition.
But then you come down and he decides to blame her fans. You notice this? This is becoming a thing throughout all of women's basketball. Let's start blaming Caitlin Clark's fan base. And I got to tell you, for a league that wants to make money and wants to grow, shit talking the fan base that has gotten you a new CBA, because let's be real, Caitlin Clark came in and her fans followed. What happens if her fans decide to not follow anymore? That media rights deal, that CBA, all that influx of money just goes away, disappears, poof.
And for about a month, it looked like he might have a point. Indiana started badly. Clark struggled with efficiency. The turnovers piled up. Teams pressured her full court. People who had spent months warning about the jump from college basketball to the WNBA suddenly started taking victory laps. Reality had arrived, except there was one problem. Caitlin Clark started figuring it out fast. The Fever began winning. Clark became more comfortable attacking physical defenders. Her passing completely opened Indiana's offense. And instead of breaking under the pressure, she became better because of it. That rookie season eventually included the first triple-double ever recorded by a WNBA rookie. She broke the league's single-season assists record. She produced a 19-assist game. She helped drag Indiana back into the playoffs. And she overwhelmingly won Rookie of the Year. Suddenly, those comments about Clark not being built for the league looked very different, because Clark did not escape the physicality. She adapted to it. That might actually be the biggest part of this entire story. Geno was correct that professional basketball was going to test her. He was correct that defenders were not going to roll out a red carpet because she brought millions of new viewers into the league. And he was definitely correct about Caitlin Clark talking trash. Clark herself has never pretended to be some silent, emotionless superstar. But the idea that she simply was not physically equipped for WNBA basketball, that is where history started fighting back, because instead of shrinking, Clark kept getting up. Instead of backing away from defenders, she kept attacking. Instead of changing the personality that made millions of fans connect with her, she kept playing exactly like Caitlin Clark. And ironically, Auriemma later spoke about that very quality in a much more complimentary way. He praised Clark's ability to connect with people and acknowledged that her trash talk is actually part of what makes her so good. That is what makes this quote so fascinating now, because maybe Geno accidentally identified the exact reason Clark survived everything he thought could overwhelm her. The trash talk, the emotion, the stubbornness, the competitive fire. Those were not weaknesses. They may have been the armor. Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA with practically the entire sport waiting to see whether she would break. Veterans tested her, defenders hit her, critics questioned her. One of basketball's most decorated coaches publicly wondered whether her body could handle what was coming. And Clark's response was not some angry interview. She did not need one. Her answer came every time she got knocked down, stood back up, and asked for the basketball again. So, I want to know what you think. Was Geno simply giving Caitlin Clark the harsh reality every superstar rookie eventually has to hear, or did he completely underestimate just how tough Caitlin Clark really was?
We about to rig the game right here. Julie Tetzert, you are a fever. Hey, look, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Y'all said y'all cool with it. Y'all said y'all cool with it. Indiana Fever, go on and sign Julie Tetzert.
How many championships are the Fever winning after signing Julie Tetzert? The Indiana Fever may have just made one of the smartest moves of the entire WNBA offseason. Not because Julie Tetzert is a superstar, not because she is expected to score 20 points a game, but because championship teams are built differently.
We got to talk about this topic because it is relevant. Not that I want to get into this whole weird thing that's going on right now, but like this topic is relevant right now with Julie Tetzert. It is a player, like she's a player in the French second tier where they allow trans women compete, and she is absolutely dominating, like physically destroying teams.
Everyone talks about Caitlin Clark. Everyone talks about Aaliyah Boston. Everyone talks about Kelsey Mitchell and Sophie Cunningham. Yet almost every title team has players who quietly do all the little things that never appear on highlight reels. And that is exactly why Julie Tetzert could become one of the most important signings Indiana has made. Because when you look closely at what this roster has become, one question suddenly feels very real. How many championships could this team actually win?
Overseas, 6'3", beast in the paint. Hit Julie Tetzert, come on and sign with the Indiana Fever. I got your warm-up shirt for you. We got your Caitlin Clarks in the locker room already. Go on and sign Julie Tetzert, Indiana Fever. I mean, you might want to do it before the Seattle Storm do. You might want to do it before the Portland Fire do. I mean, hell, you might want to sign Julie Tetzert before Cheryl Reeve and the Minnesota Lynx sign Julie Tetzert. I'm just saying, don't get mad and don't try to take the credit away from Caitlin Clark when they win with Julie at the power forward center spot.
Just 2 years ago, the Fever were rebuilding. Now they look completely different. Caitlin Clark has become one of the biggest stars in all of basketball. Aaliyah Boston continues developing into one of the league's dominant post players. Kelsey Mitchell remains one of the most dangerous scorers in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham delivers toughness, energy, and defensive intensity. Now Indiana has added another player whose style fits exactly what championship teams need, Julie Tetzert. She may not be the biggest headline, but she might become one of the smartest additions.
Men don't belong in women's sports no matter what you call yourself, a woman, or no matter what you dress as or implants. I don't care, you're still gonna be a man. Now we have gotten to the point where we have video of a man by the name of Julia Tetzert. It's a guy, so Julia, and he plays in France. Hey, these coaches and other players in WNBA coming out and saying, no, trans women should be included, inclusivity, all the things. Guess what? This video pops up. It's a 6'3" man who transitioned in 2021. He's averaging more than 20 points per game in this women's league in France. And he won Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Domestic Player of the Year in this league in France, all the things. Because why? Well, he is a man playing against all women.
Every great championship team has role players who know exactly who they are. Players who don't need 20 shots. Players willing to defend, move without the basketball, hit open shots, keep possessions alive, play physical. Do whatever the coach asks. That is where Julie Tatar enters the picture. She has built a reputation as a tough, intelligent player who understands team basketball. She does the little things that help stars succeed, and sometimes those players become the difference between losing in the semifinals and winning a championship. Think about what Indiana already has. Caitlin Clark stretches defenses 30 feet from the basket. Aaliyah Boston forces double teams inside. Kelsey Mitchell can score from anywhere. That already creates impossible choices for opposing defenses. Now imagine surrounding those players with teammates who don't force bad shots, who rotate properly, who defend every possession, who know where to be. That makes everyone better. Basketball isn't only about adding stars. Sometimes it's about removing weaknesses. One of Indiana's biggest issues in previous seasons wasn't talent. It was consistency. Some nights the bench struggled. Some nights defensive rotations broke down. Some nights the energy disappeared. Championship teams don't allow that to happen very often. Depth matters. Every minute matters. Every substitution matters. And that is why adding experienced players who embrace their role becomes so valuable over a long season. The scary part: Indiana's core is still young. Caitlin Clark continues improving. Aaliyah Boston is still getting better. Their chemistry improves every season. That means the window isn't 1 year, it could be several years. That changes everything, because now you're no longer asking whether Indiana can compete. You're asking how long they can stay on top. The WNBA has never been more competitive. The Las Vegas Aces remain dangerous. The New York Liberty are loaded with talent. Minnesota continues proving they belong among the league's elite. Phoenix always seems to find ways to stay competitive. Every contender has stars, but eventually every playoff series becomes about adjustments, depth, defense, rebounding, execution. Those are exactly the moments where role players suddenly become heroes. We've seen it happen across basketball history. Players nobody expected suddenly hit huge shots. Someone comes off the bench and changes an entire playoff game. A defensive stop shifts momentum. A hustle rebound extends a season. Fans usually remember the superstar lifting the trophy. Coaches remember everyone else who helped get there. That is why Indiana keeps adding players who fit instead of simply chasing big names. Julie Tatar fits that philosophy perfectly. She understands winning basketball. She understands playing within a system. She understands sacrificing individual numbers for team success. Those qualities don't generate viral highlights, but they absolutely win playoff games. And that's exactly what Indiana is preparing for, not just making the playoffs, winning them. Of course, expectations also create pressure. This roster won't surprise anyone anymore. Every opponent circles Indiana on the schedule. Every arena fills when Caitlin Clark arrives. Every nationally televised game becomes a measuring stick. The Fever are no longer hunters. They're becoming the team everyone wants to beat. That is a completely different challenge. Fortunately, championship cultures are built through competition every single day. Practices become harder. Bench players push starters. Everyone earns minutes. Nobody gets comfortable. That internal competition often produces better basketball than anything opponents can create. Adding players who raise that standard helps everyone improve. So where does Julie Tatar fit? She doesn't need to become an all-star. She doesn't need to average double figures. If she provides smart defense, reliable passing, strong positioning, timely shooting, and consistent effort, she could become one of those players fans don't fully appreciate until the playoffs arrive. Those players are invaluable. Now let's answer the question everyone is asking. How many championships can this Indiana Fever team actually win? Nobody knows. Injuries happen and trades happen. Other teams improve. Nothing is guaranteed in professional sports. But if this core stays together, if Caitlin Clark continues developing into one of the best players in the world, if Aaliyah Boston keeps improving, if the supporting cast continues getting stronger, there is absolutely a path toward multiple championships. Not one lucky title, a genuine dynasty. That sounds bold today, but remember what people said before the season. Many doubted whether Indiana had enough experience. Many questioned the defense. Many believed other contenders had too much talent. Yet every offseason move seems focused on solving those exact problems. That's what smart organizations do. They don't chase headlines. They build championship rosters one piece at a time. Julie Tatar may not sell the most jerseys. She may not dominate sports talk shows. She may never become the face of the franchise. But sometimes the biggest championship moves are the quietest ones. And years from now, fans may look back at this signing and realize it wasn't just another roster addition. It was another brick in the foundation of something much bigger. Because when you combine Caitlin Clark's generational talent, Aaliyah Boston's dominance, Kelsey Mitchell's scoring, veteran leadership, elite depth, and players willing to embrace their role, you're no longer talking about simply making the playoffs. You're talking about building a championship standard, maybe even a dynasty. So now I want to hear from you. How many championships do you think this Indiana Fever core can win together after adding Julie Tethart? 1, 2, 3? Or do you think we're watching the beginning of the next great WNBA dynasty? Let me know your prediction in the comments below.